Hello guys, let me ask you something. How many times have you said, okay, from tomorrow, I'm gonna change my life, and then didn't? You had that burst of motivation, that feeling like this time it's different. You planned, you journaled, you watched the right videos, but somewhere along the way, life got loud again. I've been there too. And honestly, that's where most of us live caught between who we are and who we want to become. But here's the truth. No one really says. Change doesn't come from massive effort. It comes from tiny, almost invisible habits, the kind you barely notice doing, until one day you wake up and realize you're not the same person anymore. So in this video, I want to share 10 small self-improvement habits that actually stick. No fake routines, no aesthetic nonsense, just real human change. One habit at a time. Habit number 1, make the bed. I used to think making my bed was pointless, something people did just to feel in control. But one morning I decided to try it. Nothing special, no big motivation, just a small act of order in the middle of my chaos. Then I did it again, the next day. And again, somewhere between those mornings, it stopped being about the bed and started being about me. That tiny routine became the first time in a long time that I kept a promise to myself that 1 minute of discipline at 7 a.m. made skipping the gym at 6 p.m. feel wrong. It was a simple act, but it created momentum. Because when your space is in order, your mind starts to follow. And that quiet sense of order, it's the foundation every other habit is built on. It's not about the sheets, it's about standards. When you walk past that made bed later, it silently tells you, you showed up today. Small fix, huge ripple. Habit number 2, start your day without your phone. We all do it. Wake up, reach for the phone, and before you even realize it, you've already started your day inside someone else's world. You scroll for just 5 minutes, but then it's 40 minutes, and your brain feels heavy. You haven't even left your bed, and somehow you're already tired. Lately, I've been trying something different. When I wake up, I leave my phone on airplane mode. I just sit there for a moment. I drink some water, stretch, open the window, let the sunlight touch my face. And in those first quiet minutes, I feel something I didn't realize I was missing: my own thoughts. The world doesn't feel so loud. My mind doesn't feel so scattered. If you try this, just 30 minutes each morning, no phone, you'll start noticing the difference by day 3. Your mind feels clearer. Your focus sharper. You stop reacting to life and start living it. Habit number 3, strength in the silence. The gym used to be about muscles. Now, it's about mastery. It's strange. You start chasing progress in numbers, but what you really find is progress in patience. Every rep teaches you something life rarely does. To push when it hurts, to show up when you don't feel like it, to stay when everything in you wants to stop. It's not you versus the weights. It's you versus the voice that says, maybe tomorrow. And somewhere between the pain and the repetition, you stop lifting just to build strength. You lift to remember you already have it. You walk out of that room not just stronger, but sharper, calmer, more you. Habit number 4, just start, even if it's small. You know that moment when you're staring at your desk and the list of things you should be doing feels impossible? So instead, you scroll, you make coffee, you reorganize your pens, you tell yourself you'll start in 5 minutes. But 5 minutes becomes an hour, and the guilt starts to creep in. Here's what I've learned. You don't need motivation to start. You just need movement, even something small. Opening the file, writing one sentence, washing one plate. It's enough to break the resistance. It's strange. Once you begin, the weight lifts a little. The task doesn't seem as impossible anymore. I used to wait for the perfect moment. Now I realize the perfect moment is the moment I begin. So when something feels overwhelming, don't think about finishing it. Just focus on starting. Because once you take that first small step, momentum quietly takes care of the rest. Habit number 5, one step that matters. Most of us wake up and instantly get pulled in 1,000 directions. Messages, deadlines, notifications. We try to do everything and end up finishing nothing. But here's the truth. You don't need to do everything to move your life forward. You just need to do the right thing. Every morning, I ask myself one question. If I could only finish one thing today, what would truly matter? It's simple, but it changes everything. Because when you focus on the one thing that really matters, you stop reacting to your day and start leading it. Even if the rest of the day falls apart, even if nothing else gets done, you still made progress where it counts. That's how momentum is built. That's how confidence is built. Not from perfection, but from clarity. One small, meaningful win every single day. Habit number 6, keep one promise to yourself. We make promises all the time, to friends, to family, to deadlines. but the ones we break most easily are the ones we make to ourselves. I'll wake up early tomorrow. I'll start eating better. I'll finally work on that project. And when we don't follow through, something small inside us stops believing our own words. So I started small, one promise a day. Nothing big. Sometimes it's just drinking water before coffee or staying off my phone until 10. The promise doesn't matter. The keeping does. Because when you keep your word, even to yourself, you build something rare. Trust, confidence, self-respect. You stop needing motivation because you've built evidence that you'll show up. So keep one promise today, just one. And watch what happens when you start believing you again. Habit number 7. Learn one new skill every 3 months. It's easy to believe that growth only happens in big moments. A new job, a big win, a fresh start, but real growth, the kind that quietly changes who you are. It happens in small, unseen moments when you sit down to learn something new. Not because you have to, but because you want to. Every few months, I try to pick up one new skill. Nothing huge. Sometimes it's learning to edit better or to speak with more confidence, or simply to manage my time a little wiser. I give it 20 minutes a day. That's it. And over time, those minutes add up, not just into skills, but into self-belief. Because when you teach yourself something new, you're not just learning the skill, you're reminding yourself that you can. And that quiet confidence, it changes everything. It's not about talent, it's about consistency. Habit number 8. Surround yourself with growth. There's this quiet truth I've started to notice. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your environment. If everyone around you complains, you start to see the world through that same lens. But if you're surrounded by people who are growing, you start to believe you can too. It's not about finding perfect people. It's about being around energy that pulls you forward, not drags you down. Unfollow negativity. Spend time with those who make you want to be better. Follow creators who make you think, not just scroll. Because energy is contagious. The conversations you have, the people you admire, the things you consume every day, they quietly build who you become. So choose carefully, protect your space, and keep people close who remind you of who you want to be. Habit number 9. The weekly reset. There's something sacred about slowing down. Most of us wait until life forces us to stop. When we're tired, unmotivated, overwhelmed. But what if we didn't wait for the burnout? What if we chose to pause before things fell apart? Every Sunday, I try to give myself 30 minutes. No phone, no noise, just time to reset. I clean my space. Look back at what worked, what didn't, plan a little, breathe a little, and somehow that small ritual changes the whole week. It's like pressing refresh on your mind. The chaos quiets down. The next 7 days feel lighter, more intentional. You don't need a full system or perfect planner. Just a moment to slow down and remind yourself that you're still in control. Habit number 10. No screens, just silence. It's funny how something as small as a screen can steal entire nights from us. One more scroll, one more video, one more reason to stay awake. And suddenly, it's 1 a.m. You're tired, but your mind's still running, thinking about people you don't even know, living stories that aren't even yours. So here's something I started doing. Every night before bed, I leave my phone across the room, not in my hand, not on my pillow, just away. The first few nights felt weird. The silence was uncomfortable, like my brain didn't know how to be still. But then something shifted. I started sleeping deeper, thinking clearer, and waking up actually calm. Because rest isn't just about closing your eyes. It's about disconnecting from everything that keeps them open. So tonight, try it. No screens, just silence. Let your mind breathe. If you're still watching, you already have what it takes. You just needed a reminder. Start small, pick one habit, win one day. Because small wins stack into unstoppable momentum. And remember, no one's coming to save you, but you're more than enough to save yourself.